Hi guys. Well, this is part two on doing the cookie clock. Okay, so part one you see is nice and hard. It came out really well. This is like the first. So now we're gonna do the second layer. Okay, so again, we gotta put our gloves on. Mine just broke, so I'll grab another set. Okay, so if you know how to set the formula, go ahead and take a guess. How much you're going to use part A and how much are you going to use part B? So this whole clock, it takes about 300 milligrams of resin. And we want to make sure that um, it comes out right. Okay. So again, here we go. We're going to do the second layer. We're going to use this blue because this mat is close. Or we're going to use this one. I think it's this one. Anyway, here we go. So now we're going to grab part A again. Remember part A? We're going to do it to 50. Part B, we're going to go 100. So here we go. This is the resin that I use. So you can see that. Perfect. That's 50. Oh, not quite. There you go. You always want to go ahead. Make sure it's exactly 50 because if it's not, your formula won't come out right and it won't come out hard like this. And then now you grab part B. Okay, that's part B. I'm going to take it all the way to 100. Okay. I always put everything, I don't waste anything. So I make sure that I put everything back in here. Okay. Now we grab our stick, right? And we turn it. And you always want to use a clean cup. You know, these cups, I get in an Amazon. I think I get it for like, I get a whole pack of 50 for less than $10. And sometimes what I like about the resin company, when I order their resin, um, they comes with sticks, like two pairs of gloves, cups, and the little popsicle sticks. So that's a good thing. You see, it got cloudy. You see how it got cloudy right there? So what you want to keep stirring until it gets clear. On any project, you want to go ahead and keep stirring until it gets clear. Okay? I think the first time I had a lot of bubbles. This is not so bad this time. So, you see how it's clearing up? You want to avoid bubbles. Other people, they get machines and they take the bubbles out. Me, I use a heat gun, you know. But you see less bubbles, I think, when you put in color. At least that's been my experience. Everybody has a different experience. This one definitely has less bubbles than when I did the first one. First one was full of bubbles. Maybe it was meant for you to see. So, yeah. So, there you go. Now, I like all of that. So we're turning and turning, turning. Okay. It's getting clear. As you can see, it's like getting clear right now, like that. You know, so that's that. Okay. Now it's clear. You see that? How clear it got? Now you got little bubbles. They're not that much. Now we're going to put in the color. So this is the color I'm going to use because it matches closely to the cookie. Okay. So you want to use a different stick. Okay. And let me push this over there so you can see what I'm doing. I grab about that much. I like it dark. Okay, that's all you need for that. And then I mix the color in. I love the mixing of the colors because it looks so nice. See how pretty it's turning? Look at that. You know when it's mixed, when you have that pretty drop, you know? Starts off messy, but and then you have this beautiful color. Okay. Look at that. Wow. That is so cool. Okay. All right. So that's ready. You know when it's ready because it's nice. Look at how beautiful that color is. So it's gonna be gorgeous. Okay. So here's the clock. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Put that on the side always. And we're gonna I like to start from the bottom up, you know. This is gonna take another layer. But you don't want to do when it comes to the deep when it comes to the deep molds, you don't want to do all of it in one day because it really mess up a project. I rather do it layer by layer, you know, that way. I like that it shows his little bottom. Look at that. So the other layer will cover it, you know. Right now I'm giving it a chance. You don't have to worry if you take long. You kind of, you know, and now I'm gonna go ahead and get the heat gun. Okay. So this is my heat gun. So you want to go ahead and use the heat gun to make sure you get all the bubbles. When all the bubbles are gone, that's how you know it's going to be okay. I usually give it a couple of minutes because and then bubbles will surface up. So what I like to do definitely is just make sure I give it a couple like 5 minutes or so. And then if I see that they have bubbles, I'll go ahead and use the heat gun again, like right here, kind of. I see that. Okay, so I go ahead and do that, and I usually use everything, but that's okay. So that's it, guys. That's how easy this is. My trademark is okay. It's gonna come out great once it's dry. And then I'm gonna put another layer. The next thing you're gonna see is when I unveil the clock when it's done. Now that you know that you have to go one layer at a time, this clock takes 300 milligrams. So my next thing is gonna be when I unveil to you and it's done and I put the clock on and everything, the face, and then you'll know what to do. Okay. So this is my trademark clock. You see, and there's bubbles coming out there. And I'm gonna hit it one more time. And you see it go. You're gonna have bubbles come up. That's why you want to lay it sit for a bit, and just let it settle in. And then tomorrow I'll go ahead and put the layer. So I'll see you again when we unveil the finishing of this beautiful clock. Okay? So I see you when the unveiling happens.